The UK has been putting up obesity awareness campaigns. Is this good or is it bad? Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Fitness Under Fire, a debate channel where we cover current and controversial fitness topics. My name is Kat, I will be your host for today, and we have two debaters, Christina and Al. Now, keep in mind that whatever opinions are expressed today may not necessarily be the opinions of the person who expresses them. We are just trying to cover a debate topic so that you, the audience member, can decide where you stand. Now that we know the rules of the game for today's topic, the UK has been putting up a obesity awareness campaign. Is this good or is this bad?
You want to start with this?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So let me just first off say, I'm obviously partial to stuff like this. I'm a personal trainer. I've trained a lot of people who are obese to get to healthy body weights. So I'm very for using information to educate people. I get that. However, I will be showing why this is bad. This is not a good idea. Now, first off, I just want to point out this whole campaign that's going on in the UK, this actually came up to me from a friend who lives in the UK who started sending me pictures of signs that she comes across on a daily basis. And what these appear to be is very similar to the warning that you have on cigarette packets that warn you about cancer if you smoke. Mm-hmm. And similarly, you can walk around and you see these types of advertisements, these types of warning signs, but about obesity. Mm-hmm. And it was actually Cancer Research UK that started this campaign last year to try to show people the link that exists between obesity and cancer. And sure enough, that is an accurate link. I'm not going to pretend that that's not true. So I get the push and the desire here to try to educate people so that we can combat the obesity epidemic. But here's the problem.
Are we getting to a point?
Yeah.
I've been waiting to write down Al's points. Nothing.
We're getting to a point. But the problem that I see here is twofold. And the first one is, do we realize the environment that we live in right now? Healthy at every size, body positivity, fat shaming. This has become a huge issue, not just in the online world, but in the world in general. And so you're going to be putting up these signs. What do you think are going to be the results? You think people are just going to walk by the signs and say, oh, I didn't realize there was a link between obesity and cancer. Let me put down the chips. Let me put down the hot dog. Do we really think that's what's going to happen? No, I don't think so. What do we think is going to happen when these signs get put up? When Cancer Research UK puts up these signs? What's going to happen?
What do we think? I don't know.
I think we all know exactly what's going to happen.
I don't think we do.
A variety of people are going to get drastically offended, become very entrenched and tribalistic, and start lashing out. They're going to be accusing Cancer UK of fat shaming. They're going to start various online battles. No one's going to be listening to each other. Mm-hmm. No education is actually going to be had here. Okay. And to my point, I'll actually bring up, apparently when the campaign was first launched, you may have heard of Sophie Hagen.
I have not heard of Sophie Hagen. Please tell us.
Yeah, neither had I, but apparently she's a comedian in the UK, and she started tweeting about it, and her tweets...
I did see something about that, yes.
Okay, and her tweets actually received a lot of headlines. Mm-hmm. So let's
share some of those tweets.
Let's share them indeed. So, this is one that she posted after she had a picture of one of the ads from Cancer Research UK. The ad basically was like a hangman. You had a few letters missing, and you were supposed to spell out the word obesity to complete the sentence. To complete the sentence, obesity is a cause of cancer.
All right.
So she posts a picture of that and writes, right. Is anyone currently working on getting this piece of shit Cancer Research UK advert removed from everywhere? Mm-hmm. Is there something I can sign? How the fucking fuck is this okay? And you might guess a variety of comments on both sides just started battling it out in her comment section.
All right, we'll talk more about that. Okay.
So what's my point here?
What is your point?
What is your point here?
Nothing good is being accomplished. This is just more dogmatism, people yelling at each other. And during the time of healthy at every size, while I'm totally with you guys that information is positive, while I'm totally with you guys that we need to combat the obesity epidemic, that's not what these advertisements are going to be doing. Quite the opposite. Instead, they're just going to add fuel to a toxic fire.
All right. I've heard your points.
I have another one waiting, but I'll let you go. Yeah.
Well, let me give a little bit of a lowdown of a little bit more background here. So as Al said, this campaign came out of Cancer Research UK. Very clever kind of awareness campaign using things like filling in the blanks, using different ways to grab your attention. And a little bit of background here. I'm sure everyone watching knows. I'm sure you guys know. There is all kinds of links already exist to obesity and various health concerns, diabetes, high blood pressure, all these things. You're not arguing against that, of course.
Of course not.
That's already known. This particular campaign, though, is specifically about the link between obesity and cancer. And that is something that I was aware of, you might have been aware of, some of you might be aware of that. But in actuality, Cancer Research UK also did some research and found that only 15% of adults in the UK were aware of this link. They did not know. So Cancer Research, more background, they're the leading cancer charity in the UK. Their aim is to cure cancer. They do so by funding research and also by doing public awareness and education. And
pissing off a lot of people, apparently.
Well, potentially. But what they did was they did their research. They found these links between obesity and cancer. They did more research. They found only 15% of adults even know about it. So what is the conclusion? More people need to know about it. How are we going to get people to know about it? We're going to use different educational tactics. What types of educational tactics do you use in these circumstances?
Singing songs.
That would be good, but basically you're trying to present information in a way that's going to grab people's attention in this time where we have no attention spans, and is going to be very concise and break down the information in a way people can understand and retain.
Do you think they did that?
I think they need a new jingle.
Do you think they're Are they accomplishing that goal? That sounds like a wonderful goal. Are they accomplishing that?
I think they are accomplishing that goal. Firstly, it's a relatively new campaign. But
a year. It's been a year now.
That's pretty new. How long did it take when they started doing the campaigns for smoking for that to really kick in?
Fair enough.
It takes a while for that to happen.
Yeah.
So all they're doing is presenting information. And I agree with what you're saying, that there has been a backlash. There is all kinds of backlash.
Non-stop backlash. The whole thing is backlash.
Agreed. What is that resulting in? More people talking about it, people making YouTube videos about it, more people hearing about how there is a link between obesity and cancer. This continues for a while longer, and it's going to become common knowledge. Just as there's common knowledge between obesity and the links with other diseases, there's going to become common knowledge about the idea of obesity being linked with cancer.
Now let me ask, are you done your point?
I have some more points, but we can continue.
Let me ask you here, are they actually accomplishing that goal? Because you say there's a lot of conversation going on about this.
We're talking right now.
We're talking about it right now. But you know, most of those conversations that I see in the online comments section, on Twitter, on YouTube, I don't see them discussing the link between obesity and cancer. Instead, they're talking about whether or not this advert from this campaign from Cancer Research UK is fat shaming or not.
That's true, and that is unfortunate, because the fact is, the way they've done these campaigns are not fat shaming. They're not, there could be done in a way that is very fat shaming and is terrible, because you shouldn't fat shame. Everyone's beautiful. You can be beautiful at every size, of course, but you can't be healthy at every size, and they're not presenting it in that way where they're trying to shame people morally about why they're overweight or anything like that.
I'm not casting any doubt on Cancer Research UK. All I'm saying is, whether or not their campaign is good or bad is going to be based on what the outcomes are. And right now, the outcomes are nothing more than more toxic, online, dogmatic, tribalistic battling. And it's not about cancer and obesity connections.
But it is, because it's more talk about, it's for every bad comment you see about it, there's like 50 or 100 or 200 people who've seen and not commented. And what have they seen? Oh, what's this thing? Obesity and cancer? It's just getting the ideas in people's heads.
I'm going to have to let you know that you have closing remarks.
Okay.
All right.
Let me point out my biggest issue. And I'll be honest. I'm going to be honest with the audience. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what to think about this. I really don't.
Because you have an opinion.
So many opinions.
I was reading a bit more about how people personally feel when it comes to this issue. And I was reading there are some obese people who apparently are walking by these signs and they claim that they're being psychologically traumatized by it. That it makes it difficult for them to go on throughout their day, that it's not helping them, that
It's reminding them they feel scared.
they're incredibly fearful in some cases they're angry, in some cases they just feel psychologically tortured. And now I see the argument on both sides here, which is, on the one hand, well, if you want to get healthy, you're going to have to deal with some psychological skeletons in order to overcome, morbid obesity. And that's certainly true. Whatever issues any of us have, it's very difficult to confront. On the other side, I also see their argument, which is, do you want to wake up and go to work every day and have to be presented with something that's psychologically daunting? We don't deal with our psychological skeletons out in public every single day of our lives. Should they? And that's the question I'm struggling with.
There are lots of people who do. Some people find it psychologically damaging to wake up and have to see the news or hear about news and hear about things that are happening in the world. People have their damages in different ways. People find different things scarring and troubling. That doesn't mean that information should not be disseminated. That doesn't mean we should be hiding and like.
But in your face,
be sheltering people and saying, "Oh, it's okay. Let's not tell them this information."
Well, let's pause there, because there's a difference between sheltering someone and forcing them to confront at every block as they walk to work.
But the same thing could have been said by smokers who were really upset. They were already addicted to smoking, and now they pick up literally their carton of cigarettes has like pictures of black lungs on them. We're not, I could potentially make the argument that we should be having similar types of warnings on chip bags and pop cans, but that's not even what's happening right now. It is an awareness campaign because so few people know about it that they have to resort to these tactics in order for people to know, for their sake of knowledge and progress.
And with that, we thank you for joining us. Tell us what you think. Where do you stand? Was Christina right? Was Al right? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.